WWE and wrestling in general has always tried to divide talent into good guys and bad guys, faces and heels. Of course, the babyfaces should be cheered and adored by fans, and the other guys, not so much. But things don't always work out that way. These are the 10 most hated babyfaces in WWE history. The Usos are decently talented and were able to connect with fans well when they first debuted, but over the years they became stale and didn't have much success in the tag division, thus fans turned on them. They may not have been the most hated tag team, but they definitely weren't loved as they should have been as babyfaces. WWE made the right move by finally turning them heel, but I'm not sure if it helped all that much. Batista was absolutely hated during his most recent run in WWE, but that wasn't really his fault. He was a babyface at the time, and some people were excited to see him return, but WWE's decision to push him over Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble clearly upset fans. They turned on him on a whim, and hated him so much for stealing Bryan's thunder that the company had to turn him heel for one of the worst return runs in recent memory. Sheamus just feels right as a heel to most people, so it's no surprise he couldn't really get fans behind him as a face. He was somewhat over at times, but overall fans were tired of good guy Sheamus, and he was slowly fading away after being at the top of the company just a few years prior. The lack of fan support paired with a momentum-killing injury gave us a heel Sheamus, who embraces the hate, and it seems to have been a good move. WWE really wanted Eva Marie to be a top female in wrestling, and they originally wanted that to happen with her as a face, but unfortunately, fans weren't having it. Whether that's because she was given the opportunity based on her looks, the fact she couldn't wrestle, or maybe they just didn't like her on Total Divas, the viewers absolutely hated Eva. WWE took a while, but they eventually realized the only way to keep Eva around in WWE was to turn her heel. Scott Steiner was a good heel in WCW, so fans had no idea why WWE brought him over as a babyface. He was a huge guy, visibly juiced to the gills, and was naturally cocky, yet WWE first tried to bill him as a good guy. Fans just couldn't support this, likely because it made no sense, and WWE quickly learned that Steiner sucked as a babyface and decided to flip him back to heel. Today, the New Day are among the most popular and well-loved faces in WWE, but that wasn't always the case. When New Day first debuted, they were completely over-the-top faces that were overflowing with positivity, and that seriously annoyed and pissed off fans. To be frank, fans hated this new stable. Luckily, WWE played the situation well by turning them heel until fans learned what they were all about, and then turned them back into the New Day you know and love. Like the next guy on this list, Hulk Hogan was the biggest babyface of his era, yet was hated by a lot of fans. The majority of people liked Hogan because he was the most popular superstar at that time, but there were a lot who were already tired of Hogan using the exact same moves every match and going completely over the top with his positivity. Just imagine that Hulk Hogan in WWE today. People would have absolutely ripped him apart. Yet those very same people probably loved WCW's take on the Hulkster. John Cena is simply one of the most polarizing figures in wrestling. He was never a full-on heel, even as the Doctor of Thugonomics, and he would go on to become the biggest babyface of the modern era. He's a superhero in his own right, and everybody should love him, yet he garners an incredible amount of hate from fans. People don't like that Cena has been headlining WWE for so long, and say he just isn't great in the ring, and this hate is apparent by the chants that never cease during live events. For what it's worth, I think those Cena vs Styles matches prove that John is no slouch in the ring. The Rock may be the most loved superstar in WWE history today, but back before The Rock was The Rock, things were very different. As Rocky Maivia, a super cheerful, high-energy babyface, Dwayne was booed like crazy. Fans absolutely hated this guy because he was so over the top and just a boring, generic babyface. Things were so bad at one point, the chant "Die Rocky Die" became quite popular. This is absolutely crazy because, as you know, once Maivia transformed into The Rock, everything would change. WWE eventually listened and learned from the fans when it came to most superstars on this list, but so far they're sticking to their guns with Roman Reigns. The big dog could have been great, and still might be, but WWE mishandled the situation. Vince McMahon has always loved Reigns and has been in favor of pushing him above all others, and that's exactly why fans hate him. Not only do some speculate he only made it to WWE due to family connections, but his quick rise to the top had the opposite effect WWE desired. They created the most hated babyface of all time. And those are the 10 most hated babyfaces in WWE history. If you enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe for a lot more WWE lists like this one. Also, if you have anybody else to add to this list, then let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.